Sieltä toin hoidvoikin luodus for jok. Laba diana, capsicasti, mano, vardas, ira Lawrence. Yes, I just arrived in Vilnius for the very first time, and there's a lot of heavy loads going on. Now, why am I carrying this camping stuff behind me? It's because tomorrow I'll be heading to that metal festival / paganism called Gediminas. But for now, for today, I'll be staying one night here in Vilnius. Yes, welcome to Vilnius. As you can tell, there's a red flag with a man on a horse, which is actually the Grand Duke of Lithuania. I can just as well scroll in. Yes, we definitely entered Lithuania for the very first time. Yeah, you can also see that there are trees over there as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a 50-minute long walk. Yeah, a brand new adventure when it comes to going to Lithuania, for that matter. It's even gonna be more adventurous when I'll go to Ukmergė, where Gediminas is gonna take place. Okay, we are very close to the city right there. As you can see, there are residential buildings, and just over the bridge, we're about to go across the motorway. And yeah, especially with this human power mobility, especially with a rucksack, the tent, and a rolling mat right behind me, especially with a sleeping bag and all my inventory in my camping pack. And here on that side, there's a laptop. Now, people may ask me, but Lawrence, why are you not taking a bus or a taxi? Isn't it quicker than just walking all this way? You might be right, but the thing is, I just prefer brute strength, because I like to have some exercises, because this is a good way to warm up before going to Gediminas. But of course, I will take a bus tomorrow, which is a 1-hour journey from Vilnius all the way to Ukmergė. And so, yeah, that's why I decided to take a walk. It's only 15 minutes, really, and so, yeah, there's a lot to explore around, especially here in Vilnius, in a country I've never been before, which is Lithuania. Look at the mural on the wall. When I say mural, I'm talking about some piece of artwork. This portrait of this lady over there must be the goddess. She's the goddess of snake, and her name is Egle with the jaltis. You could see the jaltis on her hand, yeah, the blue jaltis, and it has an eye patch with the Grand Duke of Lithuania on horseback. And so, yeah, this really shows that I'm getting very close to the city center, and so we're not very too far away. And yet here I am, Lawrence Suxham, the very crazy 33-year-old Welshman who likes to go on an adventure, especially when I went cycling through Flanders in the Netherlands 2 months ago. And now I'm walking with my camping stuff in Vilnius in Lithuania, getting ready to go to Gediminas to experience some paganism. And so, yeah, I'm very proud to say that I consider myself as a pagan. Well, only when it comes to, you know, enjoying nature and also enjoying heavy metal and all that, and also experiencing such a beautiful country like Lithuania. Although I might like to learn Lithuanian at some point. For example, I learned Ačiū or Laba deva. Here's the railway train station. So this really shows that we're not too far away from the Panorama Hotel. And so this is where we're going right now. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly there to the area where I'm about to reach the Panorama Hotel. Okay, so we're almost there. Yes, yes, we're there. The Panorama Hotel. Here it is. The Panorama Hotel, because we're just, yes, because it's very close to the McDonald's. That's what the guy said to me about tomorrow when the bus is gonna take us all to Gediminas. So yeah, if you see that building under with bars and all that, that's the Panorama Hotel, and this is where I'll be staying. Very good. Finally, we made it. Okay, so I've checked into the hotel and everything's all good. Finally, I've got rid of that camping bag and also the laptop bag. And so now I am on my way to the city center. Why? Because there is so much to explore. And what I'm going to show you is the most iconic castle we're going to visit is Gediminas Castle. And we'll get there in a minute. Okay, we are on Jogaila Street, which means we are not too far away from the Gediminas Castle. And so, yeah, this is where we're going right now. It's amazing. Look at the architecture over there. Very stylish. There's some 19th century architecture. It's pretty phenomenal out there. And so, yeah. It's pretty surreal that I have came all this way to the capital of Lithuania. Now, the story of Vilnius goes is that there was a Duke called Gediminas. He had a dream about this iron wolf who happened to be on top of the tower howling like 1,000 wolves. And so he explained his vision to the krivas, which is Lithuanian word for priest, saying that he saw an iron wolf. And so the priest, or krivas, says to him that, well, it's time for you to build the city. And then he said, okay, he will build the city. And so here it is. He built the city of Vilnius. And this is what we're about to see. Okay, this is it. This is the cathedral. Well, it became a cathedral since 1387, followed by the Christianization of Lithuania under Jogaila and Jadwiga. And as you can see here, this, what is now a cathedral, used to be a pantheon, because in pagan times, especially Lithuania, which used to be a very pagan country until 1387, used to be a pantheon. Pantheon came from a Greek word meaning all the gods and the goddesses as well. And inside, they used to light a fire to honor perkunas, devas, Egla, Gemina, or yeah, something like that, and also Saula and Mano. And yet, Saula is just over there. She's the sun goddess, and Mano, the moon god. And now we're going to move on to Gediminas Castle, built by Gediminas himself. This is Gediminas, the Grand Duke of Lithuania, together with his Žirgale. Žirgales means horse in Lithuanian, because horses, or žirgales, is a very sacred companion in Lithuanian society in pagan times. And if you look here, Gediminas, the founder of Vilnius in 1323, he was wearing a typical distinctive armor, and it has some sort of a Gediminid symbol around his neck. And as you can see, he was holding two swords. And here it says Lietuvos didžiais kunigaikštis Gediminas 1316-1341. Here we go. So he reigned from 1316, founded Vilnius in 1323, and he died in 1341. Here it is, the iconic building of Gediminas Tower. Well, Gediminas Castle to be exact. This is the castle for what Gediminas had built in the 14th century. Now, this is just the tower and what remains of the walls. Although you may get an impression that it may look like some sort of moat and bailey, but no, it's definitely a Lithuanian fortress, which was built in defense against the Teutonic Knights, because it was the time when, to begin with, in the 13th century, the Teutonic Knights and the other Crusaders tried to crush Lithuania because of its paganism, but Lithuania held on for as long as it takes. And so, and this is where we're about to see today, the iconic tower of Gediminas Castle. Well, unfortunately, the funicular to Gediminas Castle, or even to get into Gedimino Pilish, has been closed until the 20th of June. And so, yeah, got it really, because I was pretty much looking forward to see that iconic building. But not to worry, because at least I have seen the building of Gediminas Castle, or even Gedimino Pilis, or even Castel Gediminas in Welsh, or Gediminas var in Hungarian, or something like that. But right this time I'll be speaking just English and a little bit of Lithuanian phrases, because I'm in Lithuania. I didn't know any Lithuanian or whatsoever, but yeah. But what I can do is that I might just as well find some museums to visit if I'm lucky enough to go and visit before its closer times. So I think I might just as well go and visit the palace of the Grand Dukes of Lithuania, which involves Kęstutis. Who else? Yeah, there's Kęstutis, there's Vytautas, there's Jogaila, but what's even before is called Algirdas, that's it. Algirdas, the longest serving Grand Duke of Lithuania, right after Gediminas. But before that, there was Mindaugas, but Mindaugas was the only king of Lithuania after he was baptized to become Christian and stuff like that, just to keep the Teutonic Knights or Crusaders at bay. But it only lasted 10 years because the majority of Lithuanians at the time, they did not accept a Christian king, and so they got rid of him, and so they've reverted back to paganism. And speaking of paganism, I'll be going to Kilkim. Yeah, Kilkim is going to be very important, because there's going to be a summer solstice. And speaking of the summer solstice, I'm going to miss out on watching Pagan Happy Hour by Scarlett Ravenswood, you know, the American pagan YouTuber I've subscribed to on their YouTube channel, because ever since I'm interested in paganism and just walked away from, you know, Christianity, the big boy and stuff like that. And yet, the main reason is, yes, I love nature. Nature is all around, and it's much more sacred. And yet, Lithuania has a very proud past, especially with its own polytheistic religion. It has Saula, the sun goddess, Mano, the moon god. It has Pergunas, the thunder god. It has Egla, the snake goddess, and Žaltis. There's even Žemina, the earth goddess. And this earth must be Žemina, which also you could see the river along, and you could see the trees of life. And yes, the trees, they value importance in polytheism, especially in the Romuva religion of Lithuania, which looks at the pre-1387. And in fact, this iconic building of Gediminas Castle must have been the symbol of resistance against the Teutonic Knights, wave after wave of crusaders trying to attack the almighty Lithuania, but they failed militarily. But only then that until 1387 that Christianity seems to win against paganism, which is true for the noble elites and including Jogaila. But it's not the case for the common folk, because throughout the centuries, even after the so-called Christianization of Lithuania in 1387, the majority of the locals, they cling on to its polytheistic religion because of its nature, its loyalty to the gods and goddesses, its groves and sacred trees. And in fact, the fun fact about Lithuania, it has the oldest tree, which dates 1,500 years old, which is one of the oldest trees, not only in Lithuania, but also in Europe, which really shows that that paganism really is still alive. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow at Kilkim, and it's going to be a grand pagan adventure. Have a nice day. Adieu.